What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the simulator and the channel. We're playing GS Pro like we always do. We're either in here or outside on the golf course. Let's see what we've got for tournaments here. Let's go ahead with the 2-foot Gimme League. It's called the Summer Bailout, and it's at Anchorage Golf Lounge home course. Here are your vitals for this particular round. We have 6,200 and 82-yard tees. Obviously 2-foot Gimme Auto putt. Greens are normal firmness with a stimp of 11. Fairways are normal, calm wind, 100 feet above sea level. And that looks like it's about it. Got a few par 5s here. All right, let's play some golf, guys. Okay, good looking course. Snow-capped mountains. They're not even really capped, they're fully snowy. We got the cart person over here ready to keep us properly fed and buzzed all day. Let's go ahead and tee off here. Trouble already? Crazy. Nobody's surprised, I don't think. We've got a tree right in our way. We still need to go 160 yards. This is just going to be tough all around. I know our ball's going to want to go left. This driver's giving me fits. It looks as if we lost 21% power there. Not sure how close we'd be to the pin if it wasn't for the lie, but here we are. Let's see if we can get up and down here. Oh, not bad. We need to sink this putt or we will be taking a bogey. And that's all right. Very bad tee shot. What do we got here? 350-yard par 4. Let's hit the 7-wood off the deck here. I am, this course is just a little bit too tight to be hitting tee shots that are 50 yards offline. They are gonna all end up in the trees and it's going to cost us a lot of strokes. Okay, I was hoping for a little members bounce there, but you can see that we're 210 in. We've got a leaf right directly in front of our face, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But even poor contact with the 7 wood gets us almost as far as the driver does. And we're like 3 feet off the fairway. I just can't justify hitting the driver on this course if we're going to be in the trees on the left or the right every time. It just seems like a, you know, kind of like madness. At any rate, we are 144 out if you include the elevation, the slight elevation, and we're gonna take about 6% penalty, power penalty from the rough there. Bounce left. Nice little bounce there. On and 2. I'm not sure I'd be able to say that if we would have used driver. Probably 29 or so feet here. It's uphill. Let's see where it lands. So close. Let's take our par and get out of here. Or not. Can I get that one back? You guys, that is why this guy is a 23 handicap. I regularly 3-putt greens, even ones I don't necessarily need to. But I'm working on it, right? That's all we can say, is that we're working on it. Seven iron here. Get right, baby. A little too much club there. I'd say we probably could have played an 8. We're about 10 yards past the hole. It's going to be a tricky little shot here, but let's see if we can get it up. We got it up plus some. Let's do that again, but a lot less juice here. Snuck it in the circle. We're on the bogey bus here. I got a couple of real golf videos coming out for a couple of courses here in northern Utah that I played over the weekend. What are we looking at here? Honestly, can't even tell what we're looking at. There we go. The map is correctly oriented now. Probably ain't gonna hit 223 with that wood, that 7 wood, but there we go. Where is this aiming us? I don't understand why it would aim us over there. 7 wood again. That went a little farther than I thought it would. But that's fine. Just got kind of a crummy lie here. The ball's going to want to go left. And it isn't going to want to get up in the air very high. Meant to hit it a little bit farther and then let it roll out, but distance control, something that most beginners have trouble with in the first place, right? Need to hit this pretty hard. It's up a foot, over 26 feet. And that should be easy. This is for bogey, once again. All right. 322 to the pin. Pretty sharp, short and sharp par 4. I'd say we can reasonably expect to land in that region. 7 wood's pretty accurate. Right in the fairway with a little members bounce. Oh. That ain't cool. Where's this guy at? Oh, there he is. Yeah, no way, Jose. All right, we better get out of here before we get turned into... We better get out of here before we get turned into lunch. Oh, look at that guy. This is tough because the pin is sort of by where the crest starts to fall off. The best thing you can hope to do here is just park this thing on the deck close enough for maybe 1 or 2 more putts, but that's about all you can ask for there. And since the gimme circles are only 2 feet, when you're close, you're kind of pretty close. 6 feet here. That's the story of my life. Be sure to watch those on-course videos, guys. You're going to see a lot of this. I must gain 8 or 10 strokes around from missed putts. Okay, there's that bear over there on the left. Let's make sure we get way past him. I don't know how far in he is. I'm guessing he doesn't want to be friends. Super thin fairway here, and by thin I mean narrow. I would say only the most experienced golfers should be hitting driver here at all on this course. Little bit of a draw there. That's gonna put us in the trees, right by that bear. Let's go ahead and get the hills. Uh-oh, he's right there. He is right there. This is, uh-oh. We got to chip right past this bear, guys. This is awesome. All right, he somehow did not notice us. Let's go ahead and get out of here. A little bit of a fader there. Stay out of that bunker. Stay out of the bunker. All right, that bear is no longer barking in our ear. We got to park this pretty close to the pin. It's downhill. Nothing good generally happens on a downhill chip like this. All right, that ain't bad. I wasted a stroke getting out from behind that bear. So what's this? This is for par, I think. 6 feet. I don't like being 5 over after 7 holes. That's not a great trend, but here we are nevertheless. Nice big fairway here. Again, QI 10 7 wood off the deck because I can't hit driver worth a piss. And we ain't playing from the tip, so you don't necessarily need to be hitting 400-yard drives to thrive and survive. $150 something here. 7 iron in hand. She's going right. That's fine. Get on the green. Just need to be on the green. On into, I'd say that is a quite long birdie putt. It's 46 feet out plus 1.5 feet of elevation. That's a lot of feet. That's a lot of feet, but we might be in the circle. Nice. Got our par. I know I say this a lot, but it's funny how par is acceptable in the simulator, but when you're shooting par on the golf course, you're happier than a pig in poop. Us mere mortals, we just got to give each other and ourselves a break. All right, this is going to play 143, probably as advertised because the wind cancels out the elevation. We don't quite want to hit 143. Let's take this 8 iron here. Maybe choke up a bit. Well, I'll take that. This is barely moving. Needs to go about 8 feet feel. That'll get rid of one of those pesky bogeys. Number 9 here, we're headed back toward the clubhouse. I need to map one of the buttons on my button box to this mini map. We can reasonably expect to hit about right there. About right there, guys. We gonna get a little bounce? No, no fairway. That's fine. Except we're kind of behind this dog leg. It's a par 5 though. If we can bash something up past the trees here, I'm probably gonna hit that. I'm probably gonna hit that 7-wood again to see if I can make it fade over. And no fairway again. You guys, these are narrow fairways. If you watch this video before you play your round here, don't use driver unless your spread's like 25 yards consistently, because you're just gonna get beat up on. You're just gonna get beat up and be mad. All right, we needed a little more than that. Probably just robbed ourselves of a birdie chance. This is pretty flat. If we can keep it straight, we should be able to walk out of here with our par. It's not really doing nothing. We need to hit her 9 feet. Well, that's the story of my life. HLA is perfect. I should have aimed inside the left side of the, or right side of the cup and didn't, like an idiot. Bogey. I have been watching a lot of D-Lud's videos. I didn't even know, but I wasn't subscribed to him. Dude is super chill, and I really enjoy his videos. Very calm, very humble. Seems like a dude you would want to play a real round of golf with. We didn't find that fairway, but we shouldn't have tree trouble. 168 in. We got 215 total out of that, which is honestly just about as far as my driver hits at sea level. 168. There is no fat part of this green, so let's just go for the pin. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. That's a tiny little green to hit it 165 yards away. That's like hitting something from a football field and a half away. If you think of some of the stuff you try to do as a golfer in terms of other sports, It's actually insane. Caught that thin. I knew it was going to go too far. We just cost ourselves another bogey, I believe. Tried to roll that up, just didn't get quite enough of it. Another bogey. It's all right. Bogey golf's good golf. Par golf is amazing golf. If you guys think of just to break 100 on a par 72 course, you've got 27 extra strokes to play with above and beyond par to shoot a 99. And I don't do public math, but that means you get about 1.5 what I would call mistakes per hole. And a mistake can range, a lot of people would say a mistake was a lot of different things, but I'd say if you didn't advance the ball toward the target, within a reasonable, I'd say, distance of the target, like if you needed to hit 225 with your driver and you hit like a 30-yard stinger, that would be one mistake on that hole already, and you're on the tee box. That other 0.5 mistake, right? You can't make 0.5 of a mistake on a particular hole, but it's all about like the aggregation of these mistakes. If you think about having only 1.5 mistakes per hole to break 100, that's pretty crazy if you think about it, right? Like this shot I just made is gonna cost us a stroke, because we got to go 150 yards. We need to be on the green after this shot. But I have committed a mistake. I hit the ball reasonably far enough, right? 200 yards. But because of the next shot can't go straight to the pin, we've effectively cost ourselves a stroke. And you guys, nothing I'm saying is groundbreaking. It's basic stuff like any of these guys are saying, John Sherman or Golf Sidekick. But that's to break 100. That's just to break 100. If you're talking about trying to get toward break 90, break 80, like there's very little room for error anywhere on the course during a given 18-hole round, right? All right, that was a pretty good recovery there. I should have probably used an 8 instead of a 9. But now we have a look at the pin. If we can snuggle it in close enough, we can get out of here with a par. And we can apply those 1.5 mistakes to another hole. Right? Every hole you par, you give those mistakes to some other hole, or hopefully when you're done with the round, you just shot a lower score, right? We're near the pin in 3, which is good. And now we can apply those 1.5 mistakes to another hole, maybe a harder hole with a lower index. That was the 5th most difficult hole on the course, but we have the first most difficult is 14, and then 17 is the 3rd most difficult. I would say the front and the back 9 are a good mix, just with my limited knowledge of what I just saw on that scorecard. We want to stay away from this fairway side bunker. It's way easier to get out of fairway bunkers in GS Pro than it is in real life, but we still don't want to be in them per se. Okay, that was a lot slicier than this club typically is. 143 to the pin, wind's pretty negligible. Let's hit a 7-iron here, see if we can get near the pin. Uh-oh. Stop. There's that bear again. If that ball would have... Uh-oh. Let's just get out of here. Okay, bear trouble averted. We're back down to 5 over. We're on the 13th hole. We got 12 holes under our belt. 196 yards is the distance we need to go. 4-iron in hand. And she is heading for no man's land. Hopefully there's no bear over there. We do have a shot at the pin, but we've got to take that 25% penalty we're going to take out of this rough into account as well. 55, a quarter of 55. We probably need to hit, I don't know, 60, 65 yards. Feel. And the target's downhill from us. Carry was 56 yards. I should have checked the heat map. I didn't see that we were going to be landing on a downhill. Pay attention to those heat maps, guys. Get in the hole. All right, we got a bogey on that one because of that tee shot. Number 14. We kind of don't want to be over here on the left because we'll block ourselves out. Ball's probably going to fade a little bit, slash slice, so we should be good to go. We are not over to the left enough, but this is a par 5, and I know that that 7 wood doesn't go, especially uphill. It'll probably go like maybe 200 yards. That was a really good shot. These fairways are really small, guys, so plan your route accordingly. And we still got a buck 05 in. I'd say we probably need to hit about a buck 10 to overcome the rough. Pitching wedge here. Oh, beautiful shot. Oh! Could have used that. It just rolled out a little too far. We'll see if we can pull something out of our tushes here. 12-footer. And we were not able to sneak that ball in the cup, but we should be able to get out of here with a decent a par. Fool me once. You always hate to leave birdies on the table, but if you could control it, you would, and you would be a professional golfer, right? Very narrow fairways here. This is 15. Let me get that members bounce off the cart path, please. Oh, it gave us a few extra yards. See, guys, even with a club as accurate as the 7 wood, I'm still not able to hit that fairway because it's so narrow. It's very narrow. In fact, to prove how narrow it is, let's do this little exercise. If you see how far it is from my red dot, which is my ball, to this place on the fairway, that's 62 yards. Now turn that line perpendicular to the fairway, and I'll bet you this fairway is maybe 35 or 40 yards across. So if you don't have a good spray pattern on your driver, you're not hitting this fairway. Anyhow, I believe I've iterated on that quite enough. Okay, I don't want to hit 107 though. Let's go with a sand wedge here. I'm gonna have to hit this fairly firmly here. Get right. Oh, there's that bear again. He's still here. 155, it's going to play 147-ish. 148. It was a little thick, but we're away from that bear. We do not want to be bear lunch. Dead on accuracy. Just rolled 30 feet past the pin is all. It's not a big deal. This is going to be not fun here. We got to get this to the edge. Did not get it to the dang edge. That'd have been nice, huh? Double bogey, dang it. Double bogey. There's another gigantic bear up there. He does not want to be friends. Okay, there are bears everywhere out here. This is not safe. I want half price tea greens fees here. Oh boy, you guys seeing this grain? This is trouble. We got to land this near the pin and like hope for the best here. Oops, too far. Sit. What do we got here? 8. Alright, we gotta sink this or we're gonna go to double digits above par. Okay, 18th hole, 360 yards. What time is it? It's almost time for lunch. I love lunch. Let me tell you what. It's one of my favorite 3 meals of the day. Let's just aim dead center of this fairway. Really give the ball a ride here. How far off? 25 yards offline, huh? 213. That same swing would have been like 60 yards offline with my driver. All right, 150 out of the rough. Let's hit a 7-iron here. Ball's gonna want to go a little left and the wind's blowing left. That was thin. We'll be all right. We are chipping up a hill, a 7-foot hill here. So if we don't get the ball up high enough, it's gonna come in hot and keep going. So we gotta get some loft under it. Maybe open this 58 degree up a smidge. Couldn't have done it better myself. All right, what did we get out of there with? An 81. Not bad. Not bad. A lot of bogeys though, good lord. Let's check out the stats and then close this video out. 6 pars, a couple of birdies, 9 bogeys though. Ugh. Ugh. 1 double. 29 putts, 83 feet of putting. 6 greens in regulation, only 3 fairways in regulation. I'm surprised it's even that high. Those fairways were very narrow. And then longest drive with that 7 wood was 221, and the best ball speed I had was almost 139. All right, guys, that was the 2-foot Gimme League. Course is Anchorage Golf Lounge home course. And that's about all I got for you. I'm gonna find me something to eat. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video.